Ladies and gentlemen, and in this morning we had the two panels, and now we go to the third panel on the day. This special panel will bring you a holistic view of marketing with purpose and how leverage technology to bring more initiative for your business. Importantly, the panelists will review some marketing implications for your next year marketing plan. And for this panel, please join me in welcoming on the stage the moderator, Mr. Kate Bayuna Garcia, General Manager Leo Burrett, and the panelist, Mr. Peter Rain-Gajar, Marketing Center Director, FE Credit, Mr. Đình Toàn, Senior Vice President of Marketing, Sunstory PepsiCo Vietnam, and Co-Chair of MMA Vietnam, and Mr. Thuận, Deputy CEO, Coview Fashion. And please give a big applause to welcome on the stage the moderator and all the panelists. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello again.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone's awake? Good. Because we have an interesting topic today, and I'm very honored to be with these three dignified, seasoned industry leaders, gentlemen, from the three different types of businesses in Vietnam. So we have Mr. Basker coming from the finance industry. We have Mr. Tuan from FMCG, and Mr. Thuan, I hope I pronounced the name right. I'm sorry if I didn't, from the fashion industry. So it's good to listen to their perspectives and point of views on purpose and how technology plays an important role in deploying and delivering this purpose to people. But first of all, the first question that I want to ask the panel, because everyone's talking about purpose. But there seems to be a lot of interpretations, some even misconception of what purpose really is. So I would like to ask the panel, what is really a purpose and does it really matter?
We're all looking for purpose. Yes.
Okay, so let me be the first one to share about purpose, which I think is not an old topic. Just now we talk about an HBR, Harvard Business Review article. Just this month, saying the title, Putting Purpose at the Core of the Strategy. So I read the article, and it's basically I have an update of understanding, which I came to know also before and now refreshing. To me, brand purpose and also strategy purpose is at the very core of business management today. Simply put, purpose is the reason for existence. The reason for existence of a business, of a brand. A brand, technically put, exists for what? For creating shareholder value. Textbook says that, right? For making money, put it practically, right? So purpose, in my understanding and also in my business situation, we transform and we really put it at the core of our transformation. It is something, an overlap between what we want to differentiate ourselves from the rest, what we build our capability to do, and what settle a social problem, a customer need. We different ourselves, we uniquely different ourselves from the others. So that's my understanding and my sharing of the purpose. Brand purpose or strategy purpose?
Purpose okay? We keep as a human being, and as when we get older, we always ask the question, why I'm here in this world? Purpose is the answer for the word why, okay? So why you exist? What you are doing here in this earth? So the same thing for marketing. We created brand. The brand is deliver something, a promise. And promise representative for something which is hindered through the word why. This is the meaning of purpose, okay? Why purpose is so important nowadays for brand? Because, yeah, some years back, 10 years back, people keep asking, okay, I need a function benefit from this brand, this category, I need emotional benefit from this brand, but not anymore because now you are oversupplied. A lot of people give you the same product every day, is that right? And now, consumer is now connected. They want to be someone, they are global citizen. And being a global citizen, they want to do more than what should be through the product. They want the brand represent them, represent their value, represent their way of looking into the world. And nowadays, there's one word. I want to be the savior of this world. I want to buy things which is taking responsible for the sustainability of the world. I want to buy things which is that make the whole world a better place. I have a full power. I want to have a brand to give me that power. So now they don't request functional benefit anymore. They don't request emotional benefit anymore. They want the brand to do the thing that they want to do that make the impact on this world. That's why the brand need to evolve. They evolve through the answer to the consumer need, and that's it. That's why brand purpose starting to be part of the brand agenda. To me, that's all about purpose. That's all about purpose. That's where all the brand now, if we see that, we start to build brand purpose in all the business, all the brand. And I think that's the new way of consumer choosing their brand. That's where brand purpose is all about. That's my thinking.
Okay. I guess they've said quite a lot of the key points. As a banker, if I ask my boss, what's the purpose? He says, make money. If I ask my CFO, what should I do? Make money. So there is one thing consistent in banking. It's money, because we are in the business of money, right? So however, what is our purpose? Our purpose is actually to enable lives. I tell people, the longest relationship in life you will actually have is with your bank. Your parents will leave someday, your spouses might not be around as long as your relationship with the bank. But you will always need financial services, right? So for us, we are almost a necessity business, if you think about it. So sometimes the question gets asked, why do we need a purpose to state? I mean, is it just for optical illusions? Just to say, oh yeah, we have this higher purpose, but actually all we want to do is make money. I think if you look at like what FA Credit's doing, our purpose here, we lend to the lower mass segments who don't get financing from banks. Now, if you look at the marketing we do at a very simplistic level, you'd say purpose, get a response, get money. But at the higher level, really, what we are enabling is something that they could not have otherwise had. Send their kids for higher education, renovate their home, look after their parents. So really, when you think about that purpose has to not only come through in marketing, it actually has to come through all interaction with the customer. It's no use if marketing puts out and says, oh my God, my brand cares about you, but the sales guy and customer service don't show it. So I actually step back to companies with a purpose and marketing to express that purpose. So I would look at it that way. It's not so much marketing with a purpose for me. If the company doesn't have a clear purpose, it's very hard for marketing to fix that.
It's interesting what you said, that when you tell your boss that the purpose for him is making money. So,
Well, the purpose of my job, yes.
There's nothing wrong about making money being.
of course, you're in this business to make money, right?
But in Vietnam, we have a saying from a very famous person: "Nhiều tiền để làm gì?" So that's hinder purpose.
That's the purpose behind the purpose,
Yes.
right? So, but just curious, how do you convince your counterparts in a board meeting, for example, right? You guys are believers of purpose, but not everyone in the room may be believers of purpose. How do you convince them?
Maybe I'll have a go. I think, like I said, the first is, everyone needs to agree what is the company's purpose, right? Of course, you have a stakeholder, your shareholders. You're there to make money for the corporate. You're there to be profitable so that you can continue to employ people. So at that level, there is a first level purpose, which is you're creating something for the community, you are employing people, you're making all stakeholders happy. I think as marketers, we always have to be evangelists. The one voice in that boardroom that's always saying, excuse me, let's look at what the customer wants, not just what the CFO wants, right? And that's when I think the conversations, and at least from my experience, is start with what are we doing for that customer? Have people aligned around that. Like in our case, the purpose is stated as enabling millions of dreams for the Vietnamese, financial inclusion. Now, being the largest in the market, we are over 50% market share, and the second closest is 17%. We're not really worried about competition. We're more worried about what are we doing in the marketplace. So that conversation brings the board together first. Because then when you start getting down to whether it's marketing budget, sales budget, how do we allocate our resources, you're always going back to which allocation of resource will achieve the purpose you're looking for. So that's why the alignment around the company's reason to exist and the reason to be a choice with customers needs to be defined first.
The next question. So purpose is company-wide, right? Purpose, as what we're sharing, it's not just about communications. It's how it should affect the culture of the company. It should even affect product innovations, right? So who should champion purpose? Is it the marketing head? Or should it be the CEO championing purpose?
I think it depends, because actually to me, I can translate every single thing from the company-wise to marketing-wise to brand-wise into brand positioning, okay? Because it's just a different way of saying it. For example, my company, they say, my vision, my mission is like a promise of a brand. Right. So there's nothing different, just a different words. So it's because we deliver something to the consumer so that we can have revenue and profit to the company. So we leave the value, we leave that to deliver that promise. And that promise now become translated into purpose. And that's where it's not about the CEO, the marketing function, it's everyone in the organization who lead that purpose. Because if you want to communicate to other people about you, who you are, why you are exist, it's not about talking. It's about walk the talk. You need to lead that. So I think it's being created by the leadership of that company. And that company will translate into different level like company culture, value, etc. And to be sure that every single employee will live every day with that purpose. I think it's not just a job of a CEO or marketing function. However, yeah, everyone have their own responsibility. I am marketers. I need to take care of brand. I need to make sure that my brand, my team, to lead that purpose of the brand. That share, then it will share the company purpose as well. So it depends on where you are in an organization. You will have the way to translate that purpose into your everyday behavior.
I would like to add a bit further on to it, because sometimes it's blurred when we mention it's a matter of marketing or it's a matter of business. To me, the purpose is very important, and like someone says, marketing is too important to leave to the marketing function. Huh? So purpose here is a matter of the whole company is cross-functional, and we don't have the situation where we go to a certain direction that we say this is a corporate purpose. Okay, it's the reason for existence. Then we have a marketing brand purpose, a different one. Basically, it's synchronized. However, I would like to take a look at the purpose more strategic than brands. Because the purpose today, honestly, it redefines the value proposition. It changed the game. For example, in our case, it's difficult, but we are changing the concept from selling apparel, from body covering fabric, to the concept of making you elegant and fashionable. And it's, so things change. You don't sell the product separately, you sell in combo. You don't educate people about fabric quality. You educate about the way to mismatch product, the way to dress fashionably, the way to make you more confident, the way to be your better self. So to me, it's not easy for that purpose. So I think CMO and CEO should have cafe often together to define a company purpose. And there's also different way of defining purpose. Define purpose from the social problem we define, or define from our core strength, our USP we define. We can have some example of purpose like the Zappos, the shoe product. The purpose is very wide, happiness, reliving happiness. And like Walmart's purpose is to simply very practical, save money so that people live better. So I read something about purpose for sharing. So in summary, I think this job should be like Mr. Toan said, it is C-level discussion, it is a company-wide, cross-functional, but I just want to go deeper into that by sharing to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Interesting. Now, what sparks from those things that you have shared is, I wonder, from each of your organization, can you share what is your purpose, and can you share if you have, at what level have you reached its full potential at this moment? It's interesting because you're sharing that everyone has come together in the organization in delivering this purpose.
So, okay, let me continue with my sharing. The retail fashion in Vietnam, we have several brands and competition. So when transforming the company, our brand, we try to create a purpose. We create, and in order to do that, we launching a new positioning of the brand, and we launching several social campaign. For example, we launch a social campaign which has nothing to do with fashion. Nothing to do with fashion. We create a campaign that we finally we brought our brand team to Himalaya, to the height of 6,000 meters last July. And before that, we create a social campaign for the young generation to come and share how they overcome their difficulties, to tell their story, to inspiring others. And we position ourselves not just a fabric seller, but also friends of the young generation, motivate them, inspire them to overcome, and build them into their better self, and give them more value in that sense. And to live that purpose, the CEO or CMO also cannot sit in the aircon room and say, this is our purpose. We have to live our very purpose. And I myself also joined the team for several months training, and I physically trained, climbed with the team to the height of 6,000, where the oxygen level is only 50%, and we almost, in a very dangerous situation. So I live the value of the brand that I run, and I live the purpose that we aim to achieve. So this is a humble situation that I would like to share. I'm sorry if I sound advertising a little bit.
I think there's a lot of great company in the world that are selling purpose. Okay, let me share my experience when I go into Tesla. The first thing is make me really like it because actually there's a panel. They say that okay, how many cars we produce every day, and that means that how many gas being saved, how many smoke being reduced. So that's the great purpose. They want to make the world a cleaner, a safer place, a green place. That's where the fundamental of the business driving their purpose. And you cannot feel that if you don't talk to people there. They feel proud about that. Every month they go out, to just giving the car, because they don't have enough employee to giving the car to the customer. All the employee, even the senior level, every month they go out to give the car, the new car to the customer. Because they say that every time they do that, they make a better place for the whole human being. And I experienced in Google, they say that, okay, I will solve the problem people who can speak. Now they develop a technology where people who have inborn deaf and cannot talk, can speak. That is the purpose to technology, I think. That's the way they do to change to a better place. Okay, that is so big. And we see a lot of that example in Silicon Valley. Okay? So we see that there's a world where people will solve the fundamental problem of the world. Okay? However, there's some owner company. If you see on the website of the company, everyone is moved to sustainability. Why is that? Because they know that sustainability will make them survive and make a better place. So I think that's the way to translate purpose. Okay? How we can look at that into a level of brand level. I think there's a lot of example. I can tell you there's one example that is the best case in the world, which is can solve the problem of all Asian women. That Vietnamese brand, you know, Dina. Is it right? That make all the women really love and really being proud of being a woman. That transform is a social transformation. That's the purposeful brand. It's not the napkin anymore. It's become the aspiration, the role model of changing the destiny of women around Vietnam. I think if it rolled out to Asia, it is still the same. There's a lot of brands like that, okay? I don't want to talk about my company because I think that you can learn that from everywhere. And for sure, when you just heard about that brand, you feel touched deeply in your heart. So that's where I believe that purpose is really important because now consumers are demanding brand of that. And for example, I think all of you will say, okay, I'm feeling that I'm working in a cigarette company because I'm the one who produce plastic. Is it right? Is it right? I'm selling plastic. But let me tell you, okay, plastic is not a problem. It used to be the most, how can I say, innovation of the world. But now it's become a problem. How can we solve that? Plastic is not a problem. The problem is about a waste of plastic. It's about recycle. So from our perspective is how can we work together with all the companies who do plastic to make it recycle. Those are the things, we know the challenge, we know the issue, and how we come that challenge and that issue, that become a purpose of our company. So just to share you some example that you can understand purpose is not something which is far away, it's there, and we can see in every single industry, company, and if you go to 500 company game changer website, you will see that there's a lot of company like that, okay? Go into that website and you see that how a lot of new business is coming in to change the world from today through the current issue that we are facing today. And for sure, consumer will buy those brand, okay?
Okay, I've gotten so inspired, I forgot what I wanted to say. Or I forgot the question. No, I didn't. I think you asked, right, how far have we gotten in our companies on this journey? So in FE, FE stands for Fast and Easy Credit, right? That's what FE stands for. It was a pretty simple name, nothing massively thought about. But that's exactly what it was supposed to be. Provide fast and easy credit to a segment of population which is potentially, blue collar, earning less than $1,000. Now, in a market like Vietnam, clearly that is a big, big part of the population. So let me just tell you a little bit of context of how that influenced the company. So we started in 2010 as a small unit inside VP Bank, grew dramatically. By 2015, 2017, numbers were still growing. But we were stuck because our business was a very physical distribution business. And at some point, the cost benefit does not work out to be able to go to every rural village. Now that made the management sit back and say, well, actually we'll never achieve our purpose of millions of Vietnamese dreams because we just can't get there. So a big decision then was made on corporate strategy to say we need to digitize. So we were not forced by market, we were making very good returns, so there was no compulsion to change. But the change came because we couldn't achieve the purpose with the current business model. So we started digitizing over 6 months, built a platform, put it out there, and now we are able to digitally lend in 15 minutes to somebody who would have had to travel from his village, go somewhere, and get a loan after 7 days. Now, if I can take somebody who's in a village, has to leave his shop and go get a loan after 7 days, but now give him a loan in 15 minutes, that tells us, okay, we're achieving our purpose. So I think purpose cannot be this high-level, beautiful stuff we listen in church on Sunday, or in lectures in universities. That's not purpose. Purpose is, your purpose has to hit your business strategy, and the corporate strategy has to evolve to achieve that purpose. Only then purpose comes to life, right? Because lots of companies have mission statements, which all the smart marketers here can write. But you can't deliver on it if your corporate strategy is not aligned to that purpose. So I guess that's what we've tried to do.
I think FE Credit, you guys have been leading this digital transformation in the finance sector. Would you say that technology, the orchestration of all these platforms, all these arising channels on digital and online, did it complicate the deployment of brand purpose, or it actually simplified?
It simplifies, because without the digital technology today of apps, affordable smartphones, app technology deployment, Play Store growth, without that we could not have gotten to that degree of reach. Because today, let's say there's a small village, we can't afford to set up a physical shop because the ROI does not make sense. But now with this app technology, that person can even buy an older version of a smartphone and apply for a loan. So I believe technology is the biggest enabler, except, like I said, technology cannot be just looked at in the marketing context of, oh my God, I can communicate with you and now I can harass you 4 different ways as opposed to 1. Technology has been looked at back to purpose. How can I deliver on my mission? Like in our case, we wanted to make sure that we can lend to everyone. Have we achieved it in full? No, because the beauty of technology every 5 years is transforming so quickly. No one, if 10 years ago you said to me, I'm on the cloud, people were like, what are you talking about? Floating up there? You've been smoking too much? What's going on? But today, cloud has enabled so much capability to deliver, an outcome that we could not have thought about. Right? So I believe technology is going to be the biggest game changer for any business to achieve its purpose.
I just build on that idea. Technology is not about enabler. Technology is the way we live today and tomorrow. There's no doubt that you can get away from it. You become happy or become miserable because of that, okay? So that's why there's a new word being created, and technology is, like you said, is just part of life, and you cannot get away from it. But for link it to the purpose, I think technology enable, because it's about connecting, it's about connection. It enable the purpose being engaged, being spread, and being action in the mass way. You don't need to, you can talk to millions of people, different gender, different nation, different worlds, maybe one day it will be different planets doing the same thing if your purpose is inspiring enough. So that is where I think technology really enable that happen. And the world will be better or worse, technology enable that.
Yeah, one typical example of enabling that is a personalization. Just now we saw a very nice presentation regarding personalization, and through the technology, can we personalize our purpose to the society, right? And internally and externally. Yeah.
Right. Now, going back to the channels, right? The multitude of channels. Does purpose play an important role in the selection of the channels?
In terms of communication?
Communication. And
Yes.
beyond.
It should. But of course, as marketers, many marketers still love to spray and pray, right? Spray as many channels and pray for an outcome. Ideally, that should not happen. The beauty of technology and channels now is the fact that I can actually decide when I can communicate with him, what's the most suitable time. So take an example in banks. We have a vast amount of data. We know your occupation, we know what you do, we see transactional information. In the past, all that only provides marketer with a basis for forming a hypothesis. But we'll still do the same marketing. Today, we can take that data, know exactly that this factory worker will be free between 12 to 1, then decide which channel is the most effective to communicate between 12 to 1. And by looking at YouTube data, we know he's watching YouTube videos. So then I can deliver my message in the channel, right message, right channel, right time, right? But this requires people in this room, marketers, to actually put that thinking, rather than just let's dump it all in and hope for the best.
I just bring a little bit more far. As a marketers, I think in the next 10 years, we're not working with people anymore. Okay, we're working with data. We're working with big data. We're working with the machine. The machine will learn the behavior and they segment it. And we work with that segment. So it's not a channel anymore. We're working with the dot. On the dot in this world. So that's where I think that if we know exactly through the machine learning about certain group of people, and we know their purpose, we know their motivation, we know their interests, we know everything about that group of people, and then when we have a purpose, if we share the same purpose, we can talk to those people, because everyone have their own purpose in life. And with the enabling of technology, with big data, with machine learning, you easily can leverage that. It's not a channel anymore. It's become a way of doing things. So that's what I learned from my trip to Google earlier the year, where I really learned about machine learning. So you are being recorded, your behavior. They read you already. They group you already. You're not a person anymore. You are part of the group of a person. You just data tomorrow, and that's it.
At least data can live forever.
Yes.
You're a number.
Yeah, so we've talked about how successful we have deployed purpose through technology. I'm interested, and I'm sure everyone's interested. What are the struggles in deploying purpose? Or what are the struggles in rallying people in the same purpose and the use of technology to deploy this purpose? Was there any, feel free to share failures where we can all learn from.
Okay. With any technology deployment, you're always going to have the first thing, which is obsolescence. Historically, you could deploy technology and calculate ROI over 5 years. Now, that same technology can become obsolete in 6 months. So the first challenge we learned was don't buy big Goliath systems, put it in place and hope for the best. In fact, the new word for everything is API, right? Where everything is connected in a very interchangeable manner. So the first challenge and learning was choose technologies that allow you to be nimble in the design, that allow you to drop and replace when something new comes. So as an example, when we developed this lending app, which is completely digital, we have face recognition technology, optical character recognition technology, ID matching tech. But each of these have been put together by taking various fintech solutions. So we didn't go to like one IBM or one Teradata and say, give us one big solution. Why did we do that? Because now, if suddenly there's a new way to do optical character recognition, there's a new way to do face matching, we can plug and play. So I'd say it's not so much just a challenge, it's more the approach to technology deployment that you got to really look at and be very clear in the philosophy that at the end of the day, it's how the customer wants to interact. So the technology you deploy is not based on the hippo, what the hippo wants to buy. It should be based on where the customer wants to interact and the enabler.
In marketing, we have campaign, communication objective, or any activity, we only have an objective. It depends on the objective of the campaign. We will choose the right way to connect. So technology, like I said, I never say technology can enable your purpose, but it depends on your purpose and objective. You will use technology to mobilize people. So it depends. If you want to engage, for example, if you want to do a charity, where you need to raise that fund, so it maybe Facebook should be the right way. I don't know. It depends. I think that it depends on the objective. It depends on what you want to get from the campaign or activity. And that is part of your building your purpose. You will decide which channel, which technology will go with that. I think it very much depends. But that's what I think.
Thank you. I would like to go on, but someone's telling me the time is over. But before we end, I just want to ask the panel, if there is one thing that you want to share with the group, what would be your advice in swimming through this technology, digital transformation, but still with conviction delivering that purpose?
I have a message for my agencies. Please.
Agencies.
Yes, so if you're from an agency and you're managing my account, don't come and show me the latest glittering technology that you're fascinated with. Oh, you saw this amazing personalization, Bhaskar, we should do that. Come back to what I think Jeremy was saying. Tell me what it does for my business. Understand my business first, enough to be able to recommend something. Otherwise, all it happens is, oh, you should do a DMP, you should do a DSP, you should do this, you should buy this. And I'm going, you should first learn my business. Understand what my customer is going to do, right? So forgive me if you're from an agency, I don't want to get beaten up outside. But I would really think the agencies that are going to win are those who understand both the business model, the client's purpose, and then, which are the best solutions to go with.
I hope all the agencies are listening. I listen.
I'm just having a pot shot at you, just having fun.
Well, I think the adaptation of technology and also the purpose sometimes it's a big thing for small enterprises. So in order to strike a balance between the big thing and a small thing, that is the thing I would like to share. Of course, we aiming at creating a purpose. We live our purpose, and we create the advantage by living our purpose. But we still need to gradually develop our business, sustain ourselves, strengthen our value proposition, and survive. So in order to do that, we still need to stay to the core. Technology enable, facilitate, make it easier the thing you deliver. It enables you to understand your target customer better. It can, with marketing automation tool, you can easily classify, understand your behavior of your target customer, and you can treat them differently, even personalize one-to-one. But to each core, it's still the value proposition. It's still your truly self, the purpose you aiming at. So, but yeah, so to strike a balance, don't be overwhelming by such big concept and big issue, and particularly with the huge influx of technology solutions, and the things that the solution technology can be a miracle that can facilitate several things, but actually it's still very core. So deliver the value, setting the value that the customer needed, and that go with it. So that's what I want to share.
My words is purpose is easy to write down, but it's very tough to live with. So especially in a very fast changing environment where idea normally being highly ranked in a short term, but idea die, purpose stay. So whenever you do something, have a quick check on whether it delivers your purpose or not before you do any crazy idea. Otherwise, you make the world worse. And that is my message to everyone. Hope that's...
Gentlemen, thank you very much. I actually would like to share in the subject of purpose. We have a book about purpose that I want to share with you as a token of my appreciation for inspiring the audience about the topic of purpose. This is a humankind book about human purpose, about, you know, if a brand is a human, as Mr. Tuan has said, if a brand is a human, what is its purpose in its lifetime? Because only that way people will embrace a brand and it will have meaning to their lives. Thank you very much.
To close the discussion on purpose and marketing, I would like to end with a term that's there's a saying, there's no more B2B, there's no more B2C, there's no more B2B2C, but at the end, it's head to head, it's human to human. So, yeah. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the moderator and also all the panelists.
Thank you very much.
Please move to this way.